A federal judge this week smacked down Ron DeSantis' ban on gender-affirming care for transgender youth. This judge, U.S. District Judge Robert Hinkle, not only struck it down and, of course, issued an injunction basically saying you cannot enforce this law as it works its way through the court system, because God knows Ron DeSantis' administration is going to appeal it, but it cannot be enforced right now. Youth in Florida, transgender youth, can still get the gender-affirming care that they need, thanks to this judge's ruling. But as I said, the judge didn't just strike it down. He didn't just put the injunction in there. The judge also called out Ron DeSantis' administration for even passing this legislation because of how hateful and bigoted it is. Let me read this from the judge's ruling. Unspoken suggestion running just below the surface in some of the proceedings that led to adoption of the statute and rules at issues, and just below the surface in the testimony of some of the defense experts, is that transgender identity is not real, that it's made up. The elephant in the room should be noted at the outset. Gender identity is real. The record makes this clear. The medical defendants, speaking through their attorneys, have admitted it. Any proponent of the challenge statute and rules should put up or shut up. Do you acknowledge that there are individuals with actual gender identities opposite their natural sex, or do you not? Dog whistles ought not be tolerated. That is a strong statement from a judge. It's not necessarily as mean and pointed as what I would do, but I'm not a judge, and that's one of the reasons why. One of many reasons why I'm not a judge. But this is a huge victory for the transgender community, not just here in Florida, but across the country. The real fear, of course, is that this will make it to the U.S. Supreme Court, and at that point, you've got a 6-3 conservative majority that could really do whatever they want with it, and that's a horrifying thought. They could make this illegal on the federal level. But up to that point, we got to take the victories where we get them, and this, of course, is a clear victory, but it also reminds me of something else I want to talk about. This is actually something I mentioned on the Young Turks a couple weeks ago. All of Ron DeSantis' accomplishments have ended up getting overturned by the courts, right? This ban on gender-affirming care for transgender youth was one of the things he touted, he bragged about, boasted about it, and then it turns out, oh, nope, sorry, the court struck it down. His bans on critical race theory, the court struck most of that legislation down. That was another thing he boasted about. His fight with Disney. Disney legally outmaneuvered you and you can't figure out how to do anything to rein them in. Disney beat you in court. Everything Ron DeSantis goes out there and brags about has been shut down by the court systems. His voter fraud arrests, shut down by the court system. Ron DeSantis is a paper tiger. He looks tough, he looks mean, but he's actually not. I mean, he's a mean, horrible human being, don't get me wrong, but I'm talking about his accomplishments. On paper, it looks great, like, oh, he did all these things, but you got to flip that paper over to the back and look at where the court cases are and then realize, holy crap, this guy can't help but sign laws that are actually illegal, according to the courts. That's what we're dealing with Ron DeSantis, and that is the message that Democrats, and honest to God, like even the Republicans in the primary, why are y'all not talking about the fact that Ron DeSantis going out there boasting about his victories when they're not actually victories? Nobody ever does the follow-up, and I swear to God I've been talking about this for 2 years. Every time Ron DeSantis has passed one of these pieces of legislation, I have sat here and said, listen, it's going to be overturned in the courts, but that doesn't matter to his base because the media never follows up with that part of the story. They all talk about it when it happens, how horrible it is for this group, how great it is for DeSantis and the Republicans, but then nobody checks back 6 months or a year later when it's like, oh yeah, by the way, the court struck that down, it's gone. Nobody does the follow-up. And that's why stories like this are important, because they prove that Ron DeSantis has accomplished nothing but hate and destruction in the state of Florida. This is Hattie. Hattie wants to know why you have not subscribed to our channel. You obviously like our videos, so do us a favor and subscribe.